Alrighty, so we've upgraded, as you can see here. We used to be in the hotel room with Schedule 1. Motel, excuse me. Holiday Inn. Okay, so a lot of advancement thanks to the help of my son here, who is the master of Schedule 1 at this point. But, upgraded to this loft above a Chinese restaurant. Little sketch. Yeah, I'm being told it may be a sweatshop. I don't know if that's correct or not. But some of the things that I have kind of come across so far in playing has been a lot of the, look, I thought this would be a simple little, simulator where there's like some couple, you just style, and then there's more of a storyline with stuff exploding and, depth of character. There's none of that. There's just you navigating the waters of becoming a drug kingpin, which again, pretty cool. But it is one of those things where I'm also really amazed at how the mechanics of the game work for creating new product. For example, there's all these different things you can string together and create, which we were working on, through other playthroughs, and it's pretty neat. So we also upgraded to now being able to get the high-end strains of marijuana. So when you start off, you only get OG Kush, but then you can now get Sour Diesel as you unlock, and you become, I guess you increase your friendship level with the supplier. So now we're able to plant Granddaddy Purple Seed. And this is, it's been a really interesting look. I now have electric trimmers to make this faster as well, which is pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Also had a few run-ins with the police, especially with the curfew stuff. As you kind of get more into the game, there's unfortunately this element where you will need to venture out at nighttime occasionally, and that's where it becomes a more interesting dilemma of navigating not getting arrested and avoiding getting in trouble. The one cool thing I will say is one thing I did notice that I did have to learn kind of early on is I was getting slammed with orders and not having enough product. So one thing I did do is just come in here and disable and re-enable what's for sale when needed, which has been useful. So if you need to take time to grow and bag up, you can put that stuff. I apologize for my dog; she's an asshole. But you have the ability to list and unlist so that you don't get slammed with more orders. You can catch up on orders that are already pending and existing. And kind of take your time with it. It's the one thing I do like about it, is that there's no urgency mainly for a lot of stuff, unless you're doing things like what we're doing now. But this is kind of the thing where I guess it'll become more crazy as time goes on here. I just realized I don't. Yeah, so all right, this is the one thing too. You're providing more than just for sake of doing this, I'm going to apply more. Oh, look, a generosity bonus because I gave her more than she needed. It's pretty interesting stuff. The other thing that I do find interesting is that you're unlocking more parts of the underworld as you go along in the game, which has been pretty fun. There are other layers to it. The other big thing is I unlocked a dealer, which has been super helpful. So what the dealer allows you to do is you basically bring him product, and he moves it for you with customers that you assign to him. So you're not the one taking up all the risk of running around and having to, be at the risk of being caught. I did have a situation where I was completing a deal with a customer and sold it to him. Didn't realize a cop was like literally cornering got investigated. I ran. I got wanted, and then I got arrested because I fell down into a crevice between two buildings and couldn't escape. So I got pinched. So that was pretty fun. But then you also run into situations like right now where I think I still need to pay. Hold on. I'll meet you outside between 6 p.m. Wait, so do I still have to make a delivery with that guy? See, this is the thing I don't remember. So the one thing with this is when you save the game, it doesn't continue going in the background. It's, it picks up where you left off, and I honestly haven't hopped on here in a while. So we're just going to go to sleep to advance it and then see what happens here. So you earn XP depending on what's been sold. You level up your peddler. So there's these different rankings allow you to unlock new ingredients and things to buy, and also new components and things to sell. And like I said, it's a pretty extensive setup that they have in here as to what you can do and what you can't do. So for example, the daytime nighttime cycle does kind of control a bit of what you're able to do depending on time of day. There are stores that are not available. You can't order certain things certain times of day. The only thing that is always available is your supplier. You can contact them at any time, it seems, and they'll set up a debt drop, tell them what you need. You also got to pay off your debt if you have a debt with them, which in the case of Albert, his debt drop is behind the hardware store, if I recall correctly. Let's see here. Yeah. No, so yeah, I don't owe him anything right now. I paid off my debt. Yeah, and here's the other thing too. The economy system is pretty interesting. So, of course, when you're doing things on the black market or you're under the table, you must pay with cash. You cannot use credit card. When you're buying supplies, however, you have to ensure you have enough funds on your card to do that. So, like real world, I guess. There's money that hasn't been laundered yet that you need to launder first before you can spend it. But if you're purchasing, black market items and paying for unsavory things, you can just pay with cash because cash is king, like in real life. Again, I do not condone any of this activity. This is strictly a game. I cannot stress that enough. In my son's save, he's graduated to, I think he's now cooking up meth in his simulation, and I'm going to call it a simulation because that's what it is, which is pretty, he's put in a lot of work in the game as he's had time. But it's been a very interesting experience and one that's unique. I can't say I've played a game like this so far, and I got to tell you, it's pretty neat. I I don't know. I guess that's the best way to put it. It is an interesting experiment that I see why it's kind of become a hit and why people are going crazy about the game. Again, playing GTA and these crime, these other crime simulator games, they're fun. They can be tons of fun and they have a purpose, but they're also very narrative driven. You play Grand Theft Auto, you play Sleeping Dogs was another fun one that I loved a lot. I have a lot of reverence for Sleeping Dogs. These games, even like Saints Row, there's a story that is there, and it's not just about the criminal element. It's about more than that, right? And that's what makes the games appealing. This game, there is a story. I'm still trying to figure out what the story is as I go along. So far, you're just a dealer. You're also a maker, supplier, dealer in the beginning, and you're trying to your uncle gets arrested and everything, which in the beginning is kind of what the lead up is to the game. And then after that, you're kind of just trying to expand in a new town with nothing, and you literally start with nothing. I was picking up cans and doing recycling for the first, I say, 20 minutes of solo play. which in my first video, my son kind of showed me the mechanic where you're able to do that, where you recycle stuff, get paid cash at these things here. I was doing that for a bit, just picking up whatever I could find, this stuff here, bringing it back over, dumping it. I was doing that for probably a good 20 minutes straight, racked up enough money, and then you just start making your small moves, right? And that aspect of the game I really did enjoy. The starting up and trying to scrimp together money and do all these things. Come in the Dan, purchasing product. Starting off with the shitty soil, and now I have extra life soil that can go through 3 plant cycles. All these things that you're becoming, pretty, becoming pretty versed with the mechanics of the game, which is what I really love about it, is that it has become a very, very entertaining simulator. And again, again, it is a simulator. That's all I'm going to call it. I am not going to, call this, an amazing, well, sorry. I mean, it is an incredible game on its face for what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and call it, the next great like AAA game, because it's not that, and it's not trying to purport itself to be that, which is what I appreciate about it. I think, for a studio that consists of 3 people, I believe, and only I think one guy who's actually doing the coding and all of the game development, it's an incredible game, and for the size of the studio, which again is not a studio, it's literally 3 friends, it looks like. It is an incredible achievement, this game, especially with the response it's gotten online and in the community, gaming community, and again, yeah, the subject matter. Oh yeah, this is my my trash grabber. This has made things a lot easier. Let me just gloat about this for a bit. I again, I'm not going to sit here and like stump about realism in games and celebrating things like drugs and addiction and violence in other games. Games, it's a form of art. I say this to people all the time when they question why me, a grown man, still plays video games. It is a form of art. I don't care what game it is. Art is what moves you. And that's how I define art. And gaming has always been something that has moved me, and something that I find is a great stress relief and just fun, and has provided memories that I'll never forget. So for me, it's impactful. And, no matter what the story may be and the game may be, I'm not sitting here trying to say that one narrative driven game or single player game is better than something that's a sandbox kind of simulator like this. It's whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty of games. That's the beauty of having these different platforms and playing on Steam or playing on PS5 or Xbox. And now I'm getting very philosophical with this, but let people do what they want to do. That's all I'm trying to say. I am not sitting here again stumping for any of this. All I'm saying is I will play most games and try most games at least once. I gave this a shot. I like it. This could be a game. Again, it's a good little breakup of time. I've been going hard body on a No Man's Sky, which again, I love the game. I'm not saying anything about No Man's Sky. That has a special place in my heart now. But at the same time, there's only so much of that you can do on a weekly basis, and you kind of get tired of it, and you need something to break it up. That's kind of what this game, I think, is going to serve for me. Is it's going to be a pretty fun, just change up, and that's what it's been so far. So here's a good example right now. Benji, the first dealer that you get under your network, has run out of product. So what you do is, and you're able to check when you go to dealers. Again, I only have one so far. And you're able to check his inventory, how much cash he's sitting on, and what his cut is. Now, my son has told me that there are other like dealers you unlock in the game that provide either a bigger cut, but they also make more money, or they're able to hold more customers, I believe. I assigned him 8. However, through my first video to now, the contact list has grown extensively. So these are all the customers in Northtown that I've unlocked. Then I've also unlocked customers here. I haven't gotten to downtown. There's all these other areas to still unlock. But here, I've unlocked all of the customers, and you can see where the relationship is. If it's friendly or not. And this I kind of learned more about. So unlocking Benji required me becoming friendly with Chloe. So I had to sell to her a couple times. If you ran into a customer in the street, you can offer them a sample at a discount or at better pricing, which I did. And that got me into this range here where it was friendly. Then it unlocked contact with Benji, who's been now my dealer. So it's pretty neat. Oh, see, there's Popo. Now, during the day, they don't bother you, at least for now. Nighttime, if it's curfew, they will stop you. If they see you, they'll chase you down. So be aware of that when you start playing the game. Starting off, I mean, they have flashlights. You can avoid them at nighttime, and you don't have to stay indoors when it is like curfew time in the game. But if you do venture out, you need to be aware that they're going to be looking for you. So stay out of line of sight. Like it turns into Metal Gear Solid at that point. You got to just avoid where the flashlight is. And if they do see you, you can run. You can try to hide. Your wanted level will go down, similar to GTA. And then you can sneak back to your place. So anyway, I'm going to re-up with Benji right now. So you knock on the door. Benji's in room number 2 at the motel. So you can either collect the earnings. You don't have to. I'm just going to drop him off, though, some more Granddaddy Perp. So he's run out. Each one of these holds 5. So I'm going to drop that with him. And then he'll start doing his rounds. So now when I go back to the phone here, I check dealer. He's holding 40 now. Because, again, I gave him 8 jars. How many are jars? Yeah, I gave him 8 jars. So he has 40 Granddaddy Perp. So he's now going to go and handle these assigned customers so they're not hitting me up. And again, what I did learn is it doesn't matter if you're selling yourself. So it appears, and again, I could be wrong about the mechanic, but how this works is if I, on my phone, on products, if I'm unchecking lists for sale, that doesn't impact Benji's ability to go out and sell. So Benji is still able to go out and sell the product even though I'm not getting direct orders myself. I guess at a certain point you reach where you have enough dealers where you don't have to do product manager, I'm assuming. I haven't unlocked this, of course, or this. I'm still just doing Bud, which, these are some of the strains that you can come up with. And you're able to change the name of these after you mix it in the mixing station. It'll assign a name, but you can modify it. And it'll also give you what the price is and also what the addictiveness is. So, yeah, and you also unlock what the recipe was at the mixing station. So, like this one was California Gold mouthwash, creates that. These 4 are the ones you buy. After you get this one, though, you can start messing around with different ingredients and coming up with different types of strains. So, again, it's all pretty funny stuff. And, let me get my dead drop here of, let's see. So, Albert is your initial supplier. Gave me 6 seeds of Daddy OG. Sorry, Granddaddy. What's it called? Daddy OG? Granddaddy Purple Seed, my bad. So then we head back here. Now I upgraded to the extra long life soil, which is just, again, saves on hassle having to swap out soil. So you get 3 plant cycles out of this. This needs more water. So, and again, I'm doing this on my own pace. I'm not going crazy here trying to, rush to the end like my son. He doesn't have a lot of patience with games. So he's been kind of like plowing through it. And, we played together. This supports multiplayer on LAN. So we actually played, on Steam too. But we played a game together where he joined my save. It doesn't merge the 2 saves, so he's basically playing on mine. If I play with him, it'll go into his save. So we did that, and, he was, like, showing me some stuff and, kind of, but he plays very erratically sometimes. kind of rushing through things. And during one of the, him trying to run out to make moves, he actually brought the cops right to the doorstep, and we almost all got pinched. So that was not ideal, I'll say. So yeah, but anyway, this is kind of it. This is where how far I've gotten is my three little grow tents here, and yeah, got a pretty interesting network so far of customers, but trying to think where I needed to go in the storyline. There's something else I needed to unlock, and I don't remember what it is. So you will have objectives that pop up under tasks, and I don't know why currently I don't have any. I think I needed to unlock something. Oh, yeah, the black market. So I unlocked the black market. However, I won't have time to go in there to show it to you today. However, next time I record, I'm going to go into the black market because I literally just walked in to complete the objective, and then I left. So I don't know what all is going on in there. I still got to get to that point. And yeah, that'll be probably the next video, is exploring what the black market offers you. Oh, there. So I owe Albert from the drop. So I love the mechanic, right? You can right click on it, change the amount with your wheel. So he wants 270. Then I can drag down here, add 20 bucks. Oh, add 20 bucks. And then done. There. Sends you a text, receive payment, debt is paid off. Pretty cool. And Albert, oh, so the other thing with the dealers that I noticed, sorry, with the suppliers, Albert, because we have a high meter of connection, I'm able to go to him directly now. So Albert hangs out during the daytime here. He's in the construction site, but you can actually go there and purchase directly in bulk without having to wait for the dead drop. So I forgot that I just unlocked that last time I played. So again, a lot to cover in more videos. And again, I'm sure there are plenty of videos about Schedule 1 on there, but this is the old man experience, me playing it at a much slower pace, taking my time, methodically working through things. That's kind of how I like to play games like this. If it's a simulation, then make it feel like a simulation, right? That's how I feel. These need some more water. So, yeah, and again, you're working on it at your own pace. No one's rushing you here. It's what I really enjoy about it, and it's been a ton of fun. So, yeah, so far, this is where I'm at. This is my little empire, this little room above a Chinese restaurant, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, and again, thanks for joining. Oh, and one interesting thing. Saving the game, you touch this thing and it's pretty simple. So you do have to save. I don't believe it auto saves unless when you go to sleep. I could be wrong about that. I don't really remember, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton more stuff to still access, and I haven't done delivery setups yet. There's all this stuff here you can purchase and get delivered, and there are all these mechanics that are pretty interesting. If you want pallets of things dropped off, flu medicine. This is apparently Viagra, your mouthwash, gasoline, energy drink, Coke or Kook as they call it here. Again, it's a very interesting game. That's all I can keep saying about it. But anyway, thanks for joining, guys. Appreciate it.